My mother said, if he really loved you, he'd chase you when you walk away. So I tested my boyfriend by starting a fight and storming out. He didn't follow. When I came back hours later, my stuff was packed. He said, I don't chase people who play games. 26 female, I'm writing this from my childhood bedroom, staring at a wall full of high school participation trophies and trying to figure out where everything went wrong. Actually, I know exactly where it went wrong. It went wrong the moment I listened to my mother. I'd been with my boyfriend, 28, for 2 years. We moved into his apartment together 8 months ago. He's the kind of guy who shows love through actions, not grand romantic gestures. He meal preps for both of us on Sundays, remembers my coffee order, fixed my laptop when I couldn't afford a new one. Never once raised his voice at me in 2 years. But according to my mother, that wasn't enough. He's too comfortable. She'd say every time I visited home. A man who really loves you would be fighting for you constantly. He'd be terrified of losing you. We don't fight, Mom. That's a good thing. No, sweetheart. That means he's complacent. He takes you for granted. My mother has been divorced twice. I should have remembered that. She planted this seed in my head that kept growing. Every time my boyfriend didn't respond to a text within 5 minutes, I'd hear her voice. Every time he said he was tired and wanted to stay in instead of going out, I'd wonder if he was settling. 2 weeks ago, she came to visit, watched us interact for a weekend. Sunday night, after he went to bed early because he had work at 6 a.m., she pulled me aside. You need to test him. What? Walk away during an argument. A man who loves you will chase you. If he doesn't follow, you have your answer. I told her that was manipulative. She said it was protecting myself. She said every woman in our family has done it. She said my grandmother tested my grandfather the same way, and they were married 52 years. She wore me down. Last Tuesday I picked a fight. Something stupid about him not planning anything special for our anniversary next month. He looked confused because our anniversary was 6 weeks away, and he'd already made reservations somewhere nice. You never put in effort anymore, I yelled. What are you talking about? I literally showed you the reservation confirmation last week. It's not about the reservation, it's about how you make me feel. He just stared at me, calm, measured. Okay, what do you need me to do differently? That wasn't the script. He was supposed to get defensive. We were supposed to escalate, so I escalated. You know what? Forget it. I'm leaving. Maybe when I'm gone you'll realize what you had. I grabbed my purse and stormed out, slammed the door, got in my car and drove to the parking lot of a nearby grocery store, and I waited. I waited for the call, the text, the baby please come back. Nothing. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. My phone stayed silent. By hour 4, I was getting worried. Not about the relationship, about whether he was okay. What if something happened? I drove back. When I walked in, I saw boxes. 4 cardboard boxes stacked by the door with my clothes, my books, my toiletries, everything I'd brought into the apartment over 8 months, neatly packed. He was sitting on the couch, calm as ever. What is this? He looked up. You left. I assumed you were done. I packed your things to make it easier. I didn't mean. You said you were leaving to see if I'd realize what I had. That's a test. I don't chase people who play games. My heart dropped into my stomach. It was just a fight. Couples fight. No, you manufactured drama to see how I'd react. That's manipulation. I don't do manipulation. I started crying. Told him I was sorry. I didn't mean it. My mom had convinced me to do it. His expression shifted slightly. Something like pity. I know your mom has ideas about relationships, but you're 26. You made the choice to play games with my emotions. That's on you. Please, just give me another chance. You should go. That night, I drove to my parents' house and collapsed in my mother's arms, sobbing about how he'd kicked me out. Her response? Good. Now you know he never really loved you. I'm still processing that. Update 1 week later. So it's been a week. A long, humiliating, eye-opening week. First, yes, I know I messed up. Yes, I know I played stupid games and won stupid prizes. I'm not here for sympathy. I'm here to document what followed. My mother could not accept that her advice backfired. In her mind, my ex's response was proof that he was emotionally unavailable, and I dodged a bullet. Any man who can pack your things that quickly was looking for an excuse to leave, she declared at breakfast. Or maybe he just has boundaries, I muttered. She didn't hear me. She was already on her phone. Here's where things escalated. My mother decided, without consulting me, to text my ex from her phone. She showed me the message after she sent it. "This is her mother. I think you owe my daughter an apology for how you treated her. She made one small mistake and you threw away 2 years like it was nothing. Real men fight for the women they love." I almost choked on my coffee. Why? Someone needs to tell him the truth. His response came 20 minutes later. "Ma'am, your daughter played psychological games and admitted it was a test you suggested. I don't owe anyone an apology for having self-respect. Please don't contact me again." Mom was livid. The audacity of this man. He's right though. That started a whole new argument. My mother accused me of letting him win by accepting responsibility. Said I was being brainwashed by modern relationship nonsense. Said in her day, men understood that women needed to be pursued. My dad, who'd been silent in the corner reading his newspaper, finally spoke up. "That's funny. I seem to remember you testing me the same way 30 years ago. And I chased you, and we got divorced because you never stopped playing games." The silence was deafening. "That's different, is it? You taught our daughter the same manipulation tactics that destroyed our marriage. Maybe it's time to admit your advice isn't working." Mom left the room, didn't speak to either of us for 2 days. Meanwhile, I decided to try a genuine apology. No games, no manipulation, just honest accountability. I sent my ex one text. "I know you probably don't want to hear from me, but I want to apologize genuinely. What I did was wrong. You didn't deserve to be tested. I let someone else's toxic ideas poison our relationship, but ultimately I made the choice. I'm sorry. I wish you well." His response? "I appreciate the apology. I hope you find what you're looking for. Please don't contact me again." It hurt, but I respected it. My mother found out I'd apologized and lost her mind. "You groveled? To him? After how he humiliated you?" "He didn't humiliate me. I humiliated myself. I didn't raise you to be a doormat. You raised me to play games. That's worse." She started telling family members her version of events. To my aunt, she said my ex abandoned me without warning. To my grandmother, she said he was probably cheating. To anyone who would listen, she painted him as a villain. I started getting calls. My aunt, "Honey, I'm so sorry about your terrible ex." My grandmother, "You're too good for someone who would just throw you away." Every conversation I tried to correct the record, but my mother had gotten to them first. They looked at me with pity, assuming I was trauma bonded or making excuses. The worst part, my younger sister, 23F, reached out to my ex directly. She'd heard Mom's version and wanted to give him a piece of her mind. His response to her: "I have no interest in discussing this. Your sister played a manipulation game your mother taught her. I chose not to participate. If your family wants to make me a villain for having boundaries, that's your choice." My sister was shook. "Wait, Mom told you to do what?" When I explained the full truth, she went quiet. Then, "That's actually really messed up. You know Mom did the same thing to Dad, right? And to her second husband." Apparently, my mother has been documenting her relationship strategies for decades. My sister found a journal once. Pages of advice like make him jealous to keep him interested, and if he doesn't chase, he doesn't love you. My whole life I'd been raised on manipulation disguised as romance. Update 2. 3 weeks later. Things got messier. My mother found out through the grapevine that my ex had started seeing someone new. It had only been 3 weeks since our breakup. He didn't owe me a waiting period. I'm the one who blew everything up. Mom, however, saw this as ultimate betrayal. 3 weeks. He's already dating. That proves he never loved you. Or it proves he'd already emotionally checked out because I played games with him. Here's where it got ugly. My mother tracked down the new girl on social media. She's a nurse, 27, seems perfectly nice. Mom sent her a message warning her about my ex. The message, which the new girlfriend screenshot and sent to my ex, who forwarded it to me. You should know the man you're seeing just kicked out his girlfriend of 2 years for no reason. He's emotionally abusive and manipulative. Be careful. I was mortified. I called my mother immediately. What is wrong with you? I'm protecting other women from him. You're harassing his new girlfriend. You're spreading lies. The truth isn't defamation. It's not the truth. She hung up on me. An hour later, I got a text from my ex. "I'm going to need your mother to stop contacting people in my life. This is harassment. I don't want to involve lawyers, but I will if necessary." I apologized profusely, told him I'd handle it. Handling it meant the most brutal conversation of my life with my mother. I drove to her house, sat her down, and told her the truth. Mom, your advice destroyed my relationship. Your test backfired because it was manipulative, and he saw right through it. Now you're harassing strangers on the internet. This needs to stop. I was trying to help. You were trying to be right. There's a difference. How dare you? No, you don't get to play victim here. 2 divorces, countless failed relationships, and instead of looking inward, you've been teaching me and my sister to repeat your patterns. She started crying. You're choosing him over your own mother. I'm choosing reality over your delusions, and if you contact him or anyone in his life again, I'm going no contact. But she couldn't stop. 3 days later, my ex sent me a screenshot. My mother had created a fake profile and was messaging his new girlfriend again, this time with evidence, which was just vague claims and twisted interpretations. The new girlfriend responded publicly on her own page. "To whoever's mother keeps messaging me about my boyfriend, I've seen the texts. I know what actually happened. Your daughter literally admitted to playing games. He did nothing wrong. Please seek therapy and leave us alone." The post went semi-viral in our local community. People started sharing it. People started asking who this crazy mother was. My mother's friend group found out. Her book club found out. Her church group found out. And here's where karma really hit. My mother's second husband, the one she divorced 8 years ago, saw the post circulating and commented, "This tracks." She tried the same manipulation games on me throughout our marriage. Walking out to test me was her favorite. I finally stopped chasing after the 15th time. She filed for divorce a month later, saying I didn't love her enough. 15th time. The comment section exploded. People were connecting dots. Other women started sharing their experiences being on the receiving end of my mother's advice. Apparently, she'd been coaching friends for years, and several relationships had imploded because of her suggestions. My mother called me in hysterics. "They're destroying me online. I'm being bullied. You have to tell them I was just trying to protect you." "Mom, you made a fake profile to harass someone after I explicitly told you to stop. These are consequences. I'm your mother, and I'm done cleaning up your messes." I hung up. The fallout for her was swift and brutal. Her book club asked her to take a break. Her church small group leader called to suggest she reflect on her actions. 3 friendships she'd had for decades went cold after people realized she'd been giving toxic advice that contributed to their own relationship problems. My dad called me the next day. "Your mother's a mess. Won't stop crying about how everyone's turned on her. She harassed a stranger twice after being told to stop. What did she expect?" "I know. I just wanted to warn you, she's probably going to try something dramatic to get sympathy." He was right. She checked herself into a spa retreat and posted about healing from the betrayal of people who should have protected her. Classic victim narrative. But at this point, everyone knew the full story. The comments on her post were brutal. She deleted it within hours. Final update. 2 months later. Here's where everyone landed. My ex is doing well, still with the nurse. I genuinely hope they're happy. He deserved better than what I gave him. I've stopped checking his social media, not because I'm over it, but because I need to move forward. My mother is humbled. Finally. For the first time in her life, her manipulation tactics created consequences she couldn't escape or spin. The community backlash was real. The second husband's public comment was devastating to her reputation. People who'd known her for years started questioning everything she'd ever told them. She tried to rebuild by apologizing, but her apologies were the classic non-apology type. "I'm sorry you felt hurt," instead of, "I was wrong." People saw through it. Last month, she actually started therapy. Real therapy. Not a spa retreat, but actual weekly sessions with a licensed therapist who specializes in attachment issues. I only know because my dad mentioned it. We're on limited contact now. Short texts, occasional calls. The moment she tries to give advice or bring up my ex, I end the conversation. She's learning, slowly, that her manipulation tactics don't work on me anymore. My dad and I have actually gotten closer. He told me more about their marriage, how her tests never stopped, how she'd manufacture crises until he was exhausted and emotionally drained. I should have warned you when you were younger, he admitted. I just didn't know how to explain it without bad-mouthing your mother. My sister has started therapy specifically to unpack our mother's influence. She's engaged to a great guy and she's terrified of sabotaging it. I almost made him jealous on purpose last week, she confessed. Caught myself just in time. It's like deprogramming. As for me, I'm in therapy too. We've been unpacking a lot. The manipulation I witnessed growing up, the toxic narratives about love, the belief that a partner's devotion must be constantly tested. Turns out, healthy love doesn't require tests. It requires communication, trust, and mutual respect. I haven't dated since my ex. Not because I'm pining, but because I'm not ready. I have work to do on myself before I inflict my issues on another person. I ran into my ex's best friend at a coffee shop a few weeks ago. Awkward doesn't begin to cover it. But he was decent. For what it's worth, he said, he was pretty torn up about how things ended. He really did care about you. I know, I don't blame him. He's happy now. Good, he deserves it. And I meant it. Here's what I learned. The tests don't prove love, they prove you don't trust it. A partner who stays through manipulation isn't demonstrating devotion. They're demonstrating a lack of boundaries. And a partner who leaves when you play games isn't proving they don't care. They're proving they respect themselves too much to participate in chaos. I lost a good man because I listened to bad advice from someone who's never had a healthy relationship in her life. That's on me. I made the choice. I pushed the button, but I'm also the one who gets to decide what happens next. I can break the cycle. I can choose therapy over manipulation, honesty over games. My mother still believes she was right deep down, but she can't spread that poison as easily anymore. Her reputation took a hit. Her influence crumbled. The women she used to coach stopped listening. Sometimes consequences don't come in dramatic explosions. Sometimes they come in quiet losses. Friendships cooling, invitations stopping, respect evaporating. Sometimes the worst punishment for a manipulator is simply being seen for what they really are. To anyone reading this who's been taught that love requires tests and games, it doesn't. Healthy love is boring sometimes. It's stable. It's two people who choose each other without needing constant proof. I wish I'd learned that before I lost someone good. But I'm learning it now.